Okay, so this is number 7 of type 1, assessment 1 on basic algebra and algebraic manipulation. In number 7, your task is to factorize a given expression, okay? To factorize means to find a divisor for the given terms, okay? Let's take a look at number 7a. So 12x minus 9y, to factor 12x minus 9y, we look for the highest common factor for 12 and 9. The highest common factor or the highest common divisor of 12 and 9 is 3. So you factor out the 3. When you say factor out the 3, think of it as putting it outside 12x minus 9y. So you could look at it as 3 times whatever remains after you factor out the 3. So if I factor out the 3 from 12x, it means you're dividing it by 3. 12x divided by 3 is 4x. And then if you factor out 3 from 9y, that means 9y divided by 3, that is 3y. So the factored form of 12x minus 9y is 3 times 4x minus 3y. Now note, we learned that factoring is just the reverse of expanding. Now if you take a look at what you have right now, if you distribute the 3 to 4x minus 3y, it will go back to the given expression 12x minus 9y. So this is telling you that what you have performed is actually correct. Okay, so the factored form is correct. Now note, there's no x and y are different, so you cannot factor out any variable in this expression, in which we will see in the next item. Okay, but for 7a, it's basically 3 times 4x minus 3y. In letter B, so we apply the same idea. We look for the common factor, the highest common factor for 5 and 15. And the highest common factor of 5 and 15 is 5. And then at the same time, note that x is a common term, a common variable for 5xy and 15xz. So you could factor out the variable x. Okay, now y is just in the first term and z is just in the second term, so you cannot factor out y and z. Okay, so what will happen now? So if I factor out 5x, so think of it as 5xy divided by 5x. So that means you will only have y as the remaining expression because you have factored out the 5x from 5xy. Now doing the same thing for 15x minus z, so this will become minus 15, factor out 5 means 15 divided by 5 is 3, and then factoring out x, so there's no more x, and you only have the z. So the factored form of 5xy minus 15xz is 5x, parenthesis, meaning times y minus 3z. Again, if you will distribute 5x to y and minus 3z, you will go back to the original expression, which is telling you that what you have performed is actually correct. Okay, finally in letter C, we apply the same idea and we look for the highest common factor for the numbers and for any common for the variables. So for 9, 15, and 18, we could think of 3 as the highest common factor. And then if you look at each term has an a. So you could factor out the a. Now you cannot factor out x because there's no x in 15a and 18az. You cannot also factor out z because z is only on the third term. So if I factor out 3a, so that means 9ax divided by 3a is 3x. Okay, you can check that 3a times 3x is 9ax. And then 15a divided by 3a, that's minus 5, no more a, and then 15 divided by 3 is 5. And then minus 18 divided by 3 is 6, no more a, and then you have the z. So this is the factored form of the given expression. So I hope you understand how to factor expressions now. Always look for the highest common factor or the greatest common factor for the numbers and then find any common letter or variables for the given variables. Okay, so that's it.